everyone, it is time for a Sephora haul. I'm happy that I finally have the time to film this video because in this bag are items I bought back in May already when we went to Florida for our honeymoon and baby moon. I did film a high-end beauty haul, I guess you can call it, afterwards, but I really didn't like the footage. The footage was a little bit out of focus and I didn't want to upload that video. However, now in the meantime, I did get some more items, which I also want to share with you because partially I have been able to try them out already and I really like them. And I took out the stuff I have already shown you in favorites videos or on Instagram or things like that, except if they're really, really good, I want to share them with you. There are still quite a few things in here, so I would suggest I get started right away. I'm going to start with some face products, namely concealers slash color correcting products. And the first one is a color correcting product, and I wanted to try something. I bought it a little bit in a rush and it really didn't pay off. I should have taken a bit more time to choose the product a bit more wisely because I can give that already ahead. I don't like it. And it's the Naked Skin Color Correcting Fluid by Urban Decay, and this is obviously the green one. That's also the name of it, green. This is supposed to help color correct redness, which I like to have usually around my nose and in those areas where I had a blemish, which is healing, and I just don't like it. First of all, the color is a weird green. I don't even know if it shows on camera, but it's really more like a neon green. And I have a bit of a hard time blending it in so that it doesn't show too much on my skin, because yes, it's supposed to color correct, but if it sits on your skin and the green color is showing too much, that's not much help either. Plus, I should have known, I really don't like the Naked Skin concealer. I do have it still, I'm using it here and there. There are just other concealers which are better. And this is even more gooey and gunky than the normal Naked Skin concealer. So if you are looking for something to color correct with, this is definitely not a recommendation of mine. Speaking of concealers and products I really, really like, it's a new purchase. I only got it around a week ago. Tomorrow a week ago, but I've been using it every day since. And I really, really like it so far. And it's the Too Faced Born This Way concealer, and I got the color Fair. I'm not sure if we have all the same colors over here in Europe than you have in the US. Usually in the US you can get even more colors, but I know even here in Europe there is one more lighter shade, which is called, I think, Very Fair. But Fair is a very good color match for me, both for under eyes as well as on the face. I actually like concealers where I don't have to differentiate, where I can just use it all over the face. And this is something where I can do this. And my all-time favorite concealer is the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. And it has been for quite a while, but this is a very, very, very close contender. The similarity is definitely the coverage and also that it's very, very hydrating. However, this is a tad bit more on the fluid side, which makes it a tad bit easier to actually blend it into your skin. As much as I love the NARS concealer, especially if it's not a fresh tube, but like a tube you have used for like a couple of weeks, you feel it becoming a bit more thick slash dry, or it becomes, I think, thicker from drying out slowly. And the harder it also becomes to blend it in. Might happen with this one as well. This is obviously a fresh tube, but this is really just moisturizing. It's nice and easy to blend in. It looks amazing. It really gives that really nice dewiness. And I'm very, very, very happy with this concealer so far. And last but not least, in terms of actual face makeup products, I do have a foundation I want to share with you. I think I might have mentioned it in a favorites video. I'm not quite sure anymore. I'm not going to go into depth about it, but it's a Tarte Rainforest of the Sea foundation. I like it. I do like it, but I have to use it with another product. Usually I use it together with the It Cosmetics CC cream and just use it as a topper up, or you know, something you use to give a bit more coverage. It's very, very fluid. It's very, very liquid. Not too moisturizing, I feel, but still very light. It's not drying either, and it's very light on the skin, and it just has really, really good coverage. And in combination with the It Cosmetics CC cream, which is a bit more on the thicker, heavier side, but with not as much coverage, it's more thick and heavy because of the moisturization. This is just a really nice combination. I have to admit, I have a bit of a blush problem. I really love blushes, and I got quite a few of them. I actually got quite a few blush palettes as well, with not just one but several colors inside. So the next 6 items are actually all blush related, and I'm going to start with the single blushes. And the first one is something which just had come out when I went to the States, and I was really hyped. So I could actually not get every color, but I really wanted to have at least one of those, and it's one of the Becca Luminous blush colors, Luminous blushes, and I got the color Snapdragon, which in the pan kind of looks like boom in your face. I don't think the color shows up, just looking in the big screen, shows up quite as it is indeed. I think it got a little bit of a corally tint when I look in the viewfinder. It's not corally at all. It's more of a deeper pink. It's very, very pigmented. You really only need the slightest touch of your brush inside of it. I've used this quite a few times, and it looks like I barely touched it, because I really haven't, because you have to be a bit careful in not getting over blushed. But it has this really nice dewiness to it, a little bit of a sheen, I guess, or luminosity, luminous blush, I guess. That's where it got its name from. I really like it. Yes, it's a tiny packaging. In comparison, the highlighters are way bigger. But to be honest, I mean, how much blush can you use, especially if it is as pigmented? There is another color I would love to get. I think the Chameleon color, which is a bit more on the pink side. I have to see. There are some other blushes I have my eyes on, but yeah, can definitely recommend the Becca blush. Another blush / blush line I can really recommend are the Tarte Amazonian Clay 12-hour blushes. I have to look up the whole name of it. This is the color Exposed. Everyone and their mother are raving about it, and the thing is, it's a color which is right up my alley, so I finally had to get it. I do have, I think, I had 5 run out of it, so I have 4 of the smaller ones, and then I have, I think with this one, 4 or 5 of the full sizes. I love them. Tarte makes amazing blushes, and I especially love their nude blushes. Talking about nude blushes, they apparently came out with, I think, 4 more colors in the nude line, so I might have to look into that, because I just love those kind of blushes. I also really like the color Celebrated, which has like the tartlet written on the front and gold little dots all over, which is a bit more on the pinky side, and this is a bit less pink. I'm really crappy in describing blush colors. I prefer the matte colors, which this is matte / with a sheen. Sometimes Tarte has some blushes which are actually with glitter in there. I don't like that at all, but this one is an amazing color. It's great for everyday looks, for going to the office, put on a bit on the cheeks. You don't have to worry about being over blushed, because even though they are really pigmented, it's just a color it's hard to over blush with. Really like it, cannot say anything bad about it. Tarte blushes just rock. And the last single blush I have to show you is actually nothing I purchased, or I just indirectly purchased it, because it's my VIB Rouge extension present I got for becoming VIB Rouge again. I think I'm now VIB Rouge until the end of next year. Anyhow, it's one of the little NARS blushes, and this is the color Goulu. I think you've seen it plenty of times. Lovely rosewood pinky blush. Once again, right up my alley, loving this. If you are a VIB Rouge member, you can actually buy this as a full size as well. Otherwise, I think it's unfortunately unavailable if you are not a VIB Rouge member, which is a bit of a shame because it's a lovely color as well. I mentioned before I didn't just get single blushes, but I also got some blush palettes, and the first one obviously is a Tarte palette, and this is the Tarteist clay blush palette. They usually come out with those palettes around Christmas time. They did do that the last 2 Christmases, and I was never able to get one of them, and now they came out with another one. I think unfortunately it's sold out by now. I had a hard time getting hold of this while I was in the States, but I really wanted to have it. And then on our last evening I went into a second Sephora, the one on Collins Avenue in Miami Beach, South Beach, and there they had them still. So yeah, I guess I got really lucky, and I'm very happy about it because they are amazing. I specifically like those 2 colors because they're a bit more up my alley. This color, which is the color Laugh, is also nice, but it has that glitter inside, which I talked about, which obviously emphasizes pores. So I haven't really been gravitating towards that. And then the color Life is just very, very bright, and I never got around to really using it. I think it's a bit more of a summer color, but especially the colors Love and Dream are absolutely gorgeous. Specifically the Love color, love it. I do have a certain shame when it comes to blushes, which I love. Did I just say shame? A certain scheme in terms of blushes, and I'm really liking those. Plus, size-wise, you can see it's about the size of my hand, so it's somewhat travel friendly, and you're able to take a couple of different blushes in a somewhat small blush palette with you. The next blush palette I'm going to show you shows why it's somewhat important how the size of the packaging is, because the size of the packaging is something I don't really like because it's just super unhandy. My English today, that's like when you spend 10 hours at work and then get to filming. Anyhow, the palette I'm talking about is this one here, and that is the Love Flush palette by Too Faced. I was tempted into getting one of those little heart-shaped blushes, and I wanted to try them out. I don't have any other Too Faced blushes. Heard lots of good things about them, so I was looking into it, and then I saw this palette. And in a way it's cute, it has those little rabbits on them. On the other hand, for traveling, this palette is just crap. It's made out of cardboard. It does have a magnetic closure, but it's not very strong. Plus, it's huge. I mean, into which kind of makeup bag does this fit? It's ridiculous. But anyhow, let's dive into the colors. There are 6 different colors in there. They are definitely way smaller than the full-size ones. But I do like those kind of palettes, you know, to try different colors, which is actually very nice. I only got this together with the Too Faced concealer last week, at the end of last week, so I haven't tried it out too much. But the color I so far completely fell in love with is Love Hangover. I love this color. It gives you the nicest nude pinky flush. Absolutely gorgeous, and what I like is that they're all matte colors. I don't mind luminosity or a certain sheen. I just don't like glitter. They're all matte. They were at really good price. I think I paid, like $30. I think that was a fair price for 6 different blushes, trying them out. So yeah, liked it. It's not a must-have, I think, but it's still a nice palette in my opinion. And last but not least, a palette I'm really happy about getting. They had something similar out, I think like a year ago around Christmas time, and I was not able to get it because we were not able to get Benefit products over here in Switzerland. So I had to sit out on the old one, but they came out with another blush palette thing, and it is the Cheekathon palette by Benefit. I do think this is still available, so I'm not sure about the Too Faced palette, to be honest. I'm not sure about the Tarte palette, but I know they still have this one, and this is how it looks. It comes with 5 different full-size blushes and a brush, which was in here, which I just took out. I do have 3 Benefit blushes. I have Coralista, I have Rocketeur, and I have Havana. And 2 of those colors are actually in here. However, those 2 colors are actually the ones I have hit pan on. So it's really nice to have them in here as well. And that's actually also the reason why I started using Rocketeur again, because that's in here as well. And I kept on looking at it, but I want to use up the single blush first. And that's how it ended up actually in my latest favorites video, in my August favorites one, because I just really love Rocketeur, and it's really nice to have a backup. And the same goes for Coralista, which is up here, but actually it's on the downside. But this Coralista, lovely colors, a bit on the bronzy side and a bit more of a summer blush, but still lovely. Rocketeur, very with a lot of dewiness, luminosity, a lot of sheen, not sheer, with a lot of sheen to it, but no glitter. Everything always says it has glitter in it. It doesn't. It has sheen in it and luminosity and stuff, but no glitter. And the other 3 blushes over here are completely matte anyway. This down here is Dandelion, which I always wanted to try. It's just a lovely, very nude, everyday pink. Then there is in the middle down here, this is, what's it called? Hoola, that's the Hoola bronzer. I always wanted to try it. It's a matte bronzer, which you apparently can really nicely use for contouring as well. I haven't tried that yet because I was really set on using up my Hourglass palette with the bronzer inside. So I haven't tried it yet, but it's supposed to be very good. And I always wanted to try it, so it's very nice to have it. And then everyone and their mother is also raving about the Delis blush. It's a tad bit dark if you're pale, so I would not necessarily contour or use a bronzer if you use Delis because of the darkness, because it's kind of like a 2-in-1 product, which I really like. It's a lovely color. Someone said it's a little bit different in color when you buy it separately. I don't know, I don't have it to compare, but overall I think this palette was $40. Amazing value for what you're getting. And if you wanted to try out some Benefit blushes or get more of the Benefit blushes, this is definitely something I can recommend. It's not very travel friendly, but I mean, who cares? It doesn't always completely work out, but loving it. We are almost done, but only almost. I have 2 more cheek products. The first one is a highlight, a single highlight, and it's one everyone and their mother was raving about, and I wanted to really get it. And then I went to Ulta because that's actually one of the products you can only get at Ulta. And I thought it was sold out, and then I had purchased something else, the It Cosmetics CC creams. I repurchased those, paid, and on my way out they had like one of those carton stand thingies, and it was full of highlighters, including this one, and it is the Laura Geller Gilded Honey Baked Gelato Swirl Illuminator. So the Laura Geller Gilded Honey highlight. This is amazing. It doesn't look like much in the pan, but it's really nice on the cheeks. It's easy to blend. For me, it's kind of like a hybrid between the Becca products and the next product I'm going to show you, because it has this really, really intense highlight, but still can be applied easily and looks somewhat natural, while the Becca highlights do have the intense highlight, but I feel sometimes it looks a little bit fake, while this one still looks very, very natural. The packaging, to be honest, really cheap, but it is a bit cheaper than some of the other high-end highlighters you can get. I think this was $26. Yeah, I wanted to have it. Everyone was talking about it. I'm happy that I got it, and I can definitely recommend it. And it's also somewhat small in size, which makes it also somewhat travel friendly. The other product I just mentioned, where I think the Laura Geller is like a hybrid in between, is a palette. Once again, I wanted to have it, but not this specific one, but they were sold out of the other one or didn't have it or something like that. And it's one of the Anastasia Beverly Hills Glow Kits. I wanted to have the golden bronzy one, ended up with the silver one, but I'm actually quite happy because the other palette they had at that point, the first two ones they came out with, is a bit darker. So because I'm so pale, the shades in here are actually more suitable for my skin. So I'm very happy about that. I had to buy this one and wasn't able to get the other one. Those are the shades. They do look a little bit lighter in the camera. Those two on the top are quite dark, so you have to be a bit careful when applying them. But I really like the two lower shades on their own. I like to mix them. They are actually quite subtle, but also very easy and nicely to blend, which makes it quite fun to use them. They're just not as, they don't give you that extreme pop of highlight you would maybe get with the Laura Geller one or with the Becca one. However, advantage is that you can actually take those little pans out, you can put them into a Z palette, you can exchange them, you can repurchase them on their own, so that's very, very good. Plus, this whole palette was only $40, which is $10 per highlight, which I think is a pretty affordable price point in comparison. Also, I mean, this was 26 and this was 40 for 4 of them, which is probably, let me see how many grams are in here. So this is 4.5 grams and the other one, well, they're in total they're 7.4 grams. So yeah, they are a little bit cheaper, not by much, but they are a little bit cheaper. You can exchange them. They're very natural, but still give a nice highlight. They're easy to blend, easy to apply. Very good for pale skin people like me. And yeah, very happy about this palette as well. And last but not least, I have free lip products for you. There have been years where I was more into lip products, where I basically bought the whole Revlon lip butter collection, but I got them all, and there's not a lot of products out there which really hold my interest at the moment. However, when I saw those, I was hooked and I had to get them. They are the Katy Cat Matte lipsticks from Covergirl, and I got the colors Pink Paws, which was the first one I got, which is a bit more of a true pink, but still very nice to wear considering that they are matte lipsticks. I do have very dry lips. I think you can tell in pretty much every video that I have issues with that, no matter how much I hydrate my lips, how much I drink, because I actually drink way too little water. That's one of the issues why my lips are so dry. But yeah, those are very, very nice to wear. They don't dry out the lips, they look natural, they're not over the top. And I like this one so much that I had to get the other color as well, which is called Sphynx, which is a bit, in the bullet it looks a bit more like a brownie shade, but it definitely still has a rose undertone. I do naturally have quite red lips, so I don't like brown lipsticks. I still like to keep it in like the darker rosy color. But because my lips are so pigmented, it works pretty nicely together with my lips. Really like them, very affordable. They are drugstore, obviously. So yeah, very happy about those two. But I had to get, you can already see it, I had to get one of those. I wanted to bring some Kat Von D liquid lipsticks for my friend Enya, whom I always like bring some when I'm in the US. She had a list for me this year as well, some of the newer colors. However, what had happened was that I actually only went to one Sephora a couple of times, which was at the Aventura Mall, which is apparently the 4th biggest Sephora in the country. But I was very disappointed because they were sold out out of so many things, and they hadn't even gotten the Tarte foundation yet, which I kind of expect if it's such a big store. But they hadn't gotten it yet, so I was quite disappointed that I couldn't pick up any colors for her. And then, like I said, on our very last day, we went to dinner on Ocean Drive in Miami Beach, or in South Beach. And I had around 5 minutes to go into that Sephora on Collins Avenue. And I didn't really have the time to look for her colors. I just really quickly skimmed it. They were still sold out of a lot of colors. But I actually decided to pick one up for myself, which I did, and this is the color Lovesick. Now, I do like it, but I have troubles with liquid lipsticks and matte lipsticks and all that jazz. But it's a lovely color. Maybe I'll swatch it real quick for you as well. It's a color which is right up my alley. It's just, I'm not used to the intensity. I think you can see in comparison how much like more coverage it's giving. It's there, it's on your lips, and it's there, and it's something I really have to get used to. It's not like I don't like it, but it's just like boom in your face. And even though I love the color, I have to get used to it. I think while I'm maybe on maternity leave, I have another 6 weeks to go, but afterwards I think I will try to play a little bit with makeup, if I'm even managed to put on makeup, but we will see. So those were the items I got as of late. I like most of them, some a bit more, some a bit less. Let me know of any things you have heard of which are coming out in the future, which I should try out, because I am planning on placing another Sephora order during their fall sale, which should come up, I think, October, November. Really excited for that. Yeah, and that was it for today. I hope you liked the video, and I hope to see you in my next one. Bye!